So sometimes when I'm out shopping for guitars, I want to test the guitars as MIDI guitars, because that's probably the way that I'm going to use that guitar the most. So it's kind of important for me that the equipment I need to bring along to make this happen is as small as possible. And I think I've reached a position where at least I'm happy with the amount of stuff that I need to bring along to make this happen. Even to use breath control and also record if I need to. I don't need anything more than this, together with, of course, the trusty iPhone or whatever platform you're using, I guess. I've done this for a while. I've had this solution where I use this camera adapter, and I used my breath controller straight into the camera adapter, then connecting it to the iPhone, of course, and connecting the iPhone via the MIDI protocol to the computer. And then I had a wireless connection to my computer and could, of course, record on that. I also had some sort of wireless audio connection set up. That was my first solution. And that worked fine until I realized that, okay, I might want some expression pedals to this setup or stuff like this. Then I started to look around for any product with some sort of BLE connection where I could connect directly to the computer. There was some, but not that many. I resorted to going to the CME VDU host for that BLE connection. So at least I could use the CME VDU host as transmitters to begin with. So I had one for my breath controller tucked away in my guitar strap. I have a battery here. I have this is a power bank. And we also have a VDU host. And I had another for the foot controller on the floor. So then I could connect directly to the iPhone or iPad if I wanted to. The MIDI protocol would be accessible there as well. Take another VDU host here together with another power bank. Go into MIDI here again. You see that I have something called FC here, and that's the foot controller. As soon as I connect this, it comes up as an option here. So I'm connecting, and now it's connected. Said I want to connect my breath controller as well. It's not connected, but connecting. I have both connected at the same time here. The thing that was problematic with that kind of setup for me was in MIDI Guitar 2 that I was working with. I can only use one of these inputs at a time, so I had to manually go in and change whether I was using the foot controller or the breath controller inside of MIDI Guitar. Go into MIDI Guitar and use either the foot controller that I have on Bluetooth here, or I can use the breath controller. I can't use both at the same time inside of MIDI Guitar 2. I remember this as being something of an issue, having to go in and switch between these and having to choose one over another. So again, I went to the VDU host and realized that I can have one VDU host as a transmitter and one as a receiver, and the receiver can receive from different kinds of controllers at the same time. So I only had to have the VDU host coming into MIDI Guitar, and I could use all kinds of external peripheral controllers. So if I wanted my breath controller and foot controller and things that I can set up that way, I'm really pleased still with that kind of setup. I used the Tech Control BBC2 breath controller for this, and that's still the breath controller of choice for me in my studio environment, and also I guess it would be for live purposes, because if I'm going to perform live, with a setup like this. I'm not gonna go over Bluetooth. I'm certainly going to go over Wi-Fi instead. And then I have another setup with the Panda Audio Wi-Fi system. Because Bluetooth it's not the most secure protocol to be sending something over, and especially not in an environment where you might have say 1,000 phones with some sort of Bluetooth connection with headphones and stuff like this in the audience. So most likely I would go over Wi-Fi there. Then the option of actually being able to use the USB coming from the Tech Control breath controller, then I can switch over from using that as a BLE controller in my studio environment to a Wi-Fi setup that I already have as well. Then that option, of course, becomes the more interesting one. But we're talking about the minimalist setup that I would use for going into a store, trying out a guitar as a MIDI guitar. And this would be it. This is a monitor, so I can hear what I'm playing, because I won't use the sound in the phone, of course. I'm using MIDI Guitar 2 still on my iPhone. I'm connecting something like this, the iRig and the adapter to my phone for that. And into the iRig, the X-Wive wireless setup for audio. So the receiver on this end, of course, going into the iPhone, transmitter on the other end, going into the guitar. I also have this headphone jack out, and that's where I would connect this cable. Then I have a monitoring system working. You'll hear everything. It's not the best sound, of course, but it's enough to try a guitar with and see if you're connecting to that guitar in this particular context. So I've used all of these before in my previous setup. The thing that's new is this one. This is the Papritech Air Motion device. This has both a battery and some sort of BLE functionality inside of it. So you don't need the external power bank and you don't need the VDU host. And that's a great gain. So you'll get rid of one more of those finicky things that could go wrong when you're trying stuff out. So of course you need to make sure it's fully charged when you go out and try stuff. You have this little button here, and that's the on button. So once you press that, you can connect this directly to your iPhone, and you don't really need to go that extra route over the video host that I've done before, since this is the only controller probably that you're going to use in that particular context. So this makes it way easier, of course, to go in and try something. You won't need to set up something like I did before. I've had this laptop that I came in with and an audio interface and the wireless setup for the guitar and stuff like this, and that takes some time, space, and also I'm not particularly interested in going in and drawing attention in a shop. I'm just there to try the stuff out for myself. So this is really a magnificent setup for this. I'll show you how easy it is to set up step by step now. Use your iRig and lightning adapter, the XY receiver into the iRig and turn that on, the loudspeaker into the iRig headphones jack and turn that on. Connect the lightning adapter to your phone and then the XY transmitter to your guitar and turn that on. I'll use the mirror. Now you have this little button that I talked about. Click on that. You see that the Air Motion device is connected. You can skip along to MIDI guitar if you want to. And you see that it's already connected there. But remember how I told you, you can also use this as your camera and document your trying out this guitar or whatever you want to use it for. But you can't really use the traditional camera and just record a video. Because while the thing you're hearing in the room is like this, the thing that's actually being recorded on that video is this. What you want to do is record your screen on your phone instead. Here's what you do. Now I'm recording whatever goes on the screen here. I'll just use a simple cam here. Any audio that goes into the iRig right now would be recorded on this video. And that's how you do that. Now you can use MIDI guitar with a breath controller in whatever kind of environment. This is the most mobile setup that I can think of. And you can also record this on video if you want to preserve this for coming generations. So I will be going over the Papertech Air Motion in detail in an upcoming video. So this is more of a taster of what's possible with this kind of device, where you have the battery and the Bluetooth ability inside of the actual device itself. This is of course made for the Patreon page, but I'll probably have it up on my YouTube as well, just to show you guys what's going on the Patreon page. Comments are welcome, of course, but if you want to have any technical discussions about anything in this video, please head over to the Patreon page and we'll discuss that over there. It's a better environment for sane discussions, I would say. So till next time, thanks and bye.